song for the broken hearted. A silent prayer for faith departed. I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my.
Hi, welcome to the April edition of Patriot Pride. I'm Alex.
And I'm Stephanie. We have a great show waiting to get started, so don't go anywhere, and we'll be right back.
Scatman's World.
My scene's clean, do you know what I mean? My scene's clean, do you know what I mean? My scene's clean, do you know what I mean? It's not here to die.
Life's about living, laughing, loving. Drugs, baby, baby, they ain't about nothing.
It's not here to die.
Drugs, they ain't about nothing.
The spring looks promising for the girls of the Wayne Hills lacrosse team. With new coaches, dedicated players, and an intense preseason behind them, these girls very well may be our first state champions.
Hi, we're the captain of the 2005 lacrosse season. My name is Sabrina.
Nelly.
Well, we have some really promising players. We have a goalie, so this is going to be good.
We're both offense.
We have Alyssa Baselli, we have Kristen Divers and Taylor Kumba. They both started, they all three started last year. They should be good. We have Lauren Duke and Edith Hannigan, Liz Wiseman. That is our defense. Yeah, they look very promising.
And also upcoming sophomore, Kim Tuxville.
Susie Anderson, she's looking to be very good as well. Megan Infantino. And we changed head coaches here. Now we have Coach Uzo instead of Coach Cherish. And we think that that's going to get us very far in this season.
Yes, we've been preparing a lot so far. And
With Coach Claire, our new JV coach, we like her a lot. And hopefully she will be promising for the JV team as well. We've been practicing since February. Most of us have been running inside, so we're very prepared for our season. Most of us are pretty much in shape already, and this is already the beginning of our season. So by the end of the season, we'll probably be really good and ready for states. Yeah.
scrimmages scheduled. One is this Saturday, and our first game is April 2nd. So,
Come.
Battle of the Bands, one of the many highlights here at Wayne Hills High School. A night where local bands plan to be the best band out there. Proceeds went to the senior class of '05. Let's see how the battle turned out this year.
Ways that the senior class, or any class for that matter, can make some money while the students in the school have a really good time. It's an opportunity for bands that are formed in the school to have a chance to come out, stand on stage.
Person who likes your band to come in, because as you come in and pay admission, you say which band you're coming to see. Our music's universal, and it's music for, that you guys are performing, that you're writing and creating, and I just think that's absolutely the coolest thing.
Now let's take a look at the girls track team. They are working toward a successful season. We had the chance to talk with one of the varsity captains and Coach Badami about their expectations for the season. Now let's take a look.
You can dress me up in diamonds. You can dress me up in dirt.
The girls track team this year, we're looking for a promising year once again. We only lost a couple of seniors, a couple of key seniors, but it looks like the seniors this year will be able to pick up. We still have Brittany Bonney, who does the long jump, triple jump, and will run some of the sprints for us. We have Daphne, who will still pick up the long distance, and we'll be able to maintain all the other events with new and upcoming freshmen this year. We should be competitive in our league. Last year we were 3-2. We hope to have the same wins as we did last year, and be competitive against our two biggest rivals, which is Old Japan and Demers. We have the county relays coming up soon that are at Passaic Valley. Usually we do very good in the relays. We have an excellent triple jump relay team that consists of Michelle Lala, Brittany Bonney, and Megan Walczak. The different events in track, we have field events, running events, and jumping events. Our strong sprinters this year will be Katie McNamara, Brittany Bonney, and we're looking for Cindy Escher, who's a sophomore, to come up and do the 100 and 200. Our jumping events are the long jump, triple jump, high jump, with Brittany Bonney and Michelle Lala participate in. We have the hurdle races, which right now Ariel Danzamir is our only returning varsity hurdler. As far as the weights go, we have Courtney Vaca and Tori Pinto, who do the shot and disc. And then for the long distance, we have two returning varsity athletes, which are Daphne Titel and Erica Bakerman. And we have a new freshman that came in, Flavia, who will be looking to pick up Ashley Bakerman's races, which were the 800 and the 1600.
For this year, we lost a whole bunch of seniors from last year, so our expectations, I guess, are not going to be as high as they were for last year, but we're hoping to still do well. We have a whole bunch of meets we can still win. Some key people coming back, I guess, would be, we have a bunch of good long distance runners, Daphne Titel and Erica Bekelman, especially, and Lynn Kong. And then also, let's see what else. Sprinting and jumping, Brittany Bonney is really good, so is Caitlin McNamara. I run 400 hurdles, the 100 hurdles, and sometimes the 4x4. This year's National Wayne Hills Art Society put together a show which was presented in the library. Pictures were put on display by students of Wayne Hills. Now let's take a look at some of the artwork that was presented.
Weight training, a very popular class at Wayne Hills High School that focuses on your health and overall physical fitness. Let's now take a look at an inside view of weight training.
I don't know how I should be feeling in this sordid mess of me, but if that's the case,
class to have for gym, you know, because a lot of us want to stay in shape for whatever sports we have, whether it's baseball or football or wrestling or fencing or volleyball or whatever. It's a good class to have, you know, because it keeps you in shape. If you want to stay toned and you can't get to an outside gym, the weight room is a good choice. It's also a hell of a lot better than aerobics, but whatever. You get to work every muscle in your body here, do what you need to do. Work one day maybe lower body, the other day upper body, you know, biceps, triceps, quads, pecs, whatever you need. And I think it's a good resource to have, you know, because it's like, if you want to get a little ahead from what you do in practice, to maybe only spend like, who knows, maybe half an hour doing weight training in practice. You come here, you get an extra about 42 minutes. I mean, 42 minutes isn't much, but it's something, you know. And you want to keep in shape, you got to keep working. That's one of the reasons I chose weight training, because I want to stay in shape. So it's a good resource to have, and like I said, you know, it's just it's a good class to have. It's a lot better than some of the other choices.
Jedi mind tricks, cannabis. Yo, I grab mics, bust the raw, take flight, adjust the yaw. I break it by cuspids with
Of our weight training class, one of the most popular activities here in the third marking period is weight training. Gets the kids up into the weight room, starts getting everybody a little bit more motivated to work out. Now that the spring is coming, we all know that weight training and physical fitness really increases your overall health, and which is one thing that we are trying to get across to the students here at Wayne Hills, is to promote a lifelong of healthy fitness and a healthy lifestyle throughout, you know, not just the 4 years that they're here at Wayne Hills, but, you know, later on and as they move through life.
who can match the bottom of my top speed, scourge of the earth versus immersed in the dirt.
Next show, we will be discussing the third update of robotics. This show will provide the information on upcoming robotics competitions, in which students have prepared a long time for. Other technology classes, such as CAD and electricity, aid in the production of creating a robot.
The first thing we've done was generate drawings, ideas for accomplishing the different tasks, and those ideas are now being further explored with adding different mechanisms available in the kit to build arms and steering mechanisms and things of that sort. My CAD class is interested in robots, and we use our class period to design robots with grippers and things of that nature, and they have access to the internet to do research, and it's a lot of fun. Well, the design we are building right now is based on the Carnival Hammer event, where the robot picks up a 1-gallon paint container of different weights and drops it onto a seesaw type device. The students agree that the arm device that they build for the picking up of the can is the same mechanism that can be used for lifting off the box. So they're focusing on those two details with one solution, and then they're now trying to decide if they should go to a skid steer type steering method, such as the way a bulldozer works, or possibly having a steering system much like that of a car, where you have independent steering from the traction system. So that's where we are. You know, One of the problems with doing work during the day is that the class period is about 42 minutes long, and by the time kids get settled and figure out what they're going to be doing for the period, you really only have a work period of about 20 some odd minutes. Really not enough to take an idea, bring out a welder. So this Saturday is our first Saturday, the 19th will be the first, I guess, full block of time that we're going to be putting in. Many students are coming in, and we're going to try to hammer out a chassis design, work on a drivetrain, and start working on implementing the arm to the chassis. So by Monday, that's what we're expecting to have done.
This year's 2005 SDA was an awesome success, with both maroon and white having great routines. It came down to the wire in the voting for the winner. Being extremely close, maroon finally won on Saturday night.
I was the captain for Maroon Palm. Our theme was Candyland. Started at the beginning of January, so we had like 3 months. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but it was all worth it in the end.
This past 2005 SDA, I was a prop for Maroon Palm, which was Gemma and Hannah's dance. It was Candyland. I wore a red long sleeve shirt and overalls, and I skipped around with a big chocolate bar. I was supposed to be the boy from Candyland.
This year, the SDA show board games turned out pretty well. The practices were pretty rough, but in the end, it all paid off because the show went over really smoothly, and the girls looked good, and the captains worked really hard. And it all paid off because of our overalls, Laura Simchek and Jessica Levine. The Maroon team pulled it off, and they won for most of the categories.
She gets everything she wants with only a little effort. Go with me, no doubt you play it real cool, homie. Got me thinking, what is it you do for me? Tripping a little more than I should be. So let yourself go and get right with me.
And they're off. The spring track season has just begun. Even though it has started off slow due to the weather, practice is now in full swing. The team has a few practice meets up ahead before the real season starts. Let's see what the track team does to prepare.
My expectations are, as they always are, to be as competitive as we can be in the league, in the county, and the state. And usually that hinges upon the leadership of our seniors.
Track is it's a lot of fun because keeps you in shape and you get to be active.
We start generally on a regular day if we're outside with a 2-lap warm-up, then team stretching, and then we break up by our different groups depending on what event you do, and then it's up to each coach to devise the workout for that day. Right now we're spending a lot of time conditioning everybody.
We run a lot, usually about 5 miles.
The weather has not helped the track team at all this season. The snow and the cold have kept them indoors, and they're eager to get outside.
What we need to do is hope for some good weather so we can get outside for some good practice time and do the things we need to do in all the events in track and field to prepare for our opening meet. The track meet, we have 15 different events, from the 100 meters, 200 meters, 408, 16, 32. There's 2 hurdle races, the 110-meter hurdles and the 400-meter hurdles. High jump, long jump, triple jump, pole vault, shot put, discus, javelin, and a 4x400 relay.
The team is relying on some key athletes to help them accomplish their goals this season.
Corey Reichart, Caleb Denegris, Brian Altanji, Nick Romeo, David Goldman, Alex Penn. That's about it.
Our coaches are excellent. We got Coach Riker. He's a great coach. We got Shale. He works you pretty hard. But Riker, he's a great guy. Hopefully we'll do better than last year and we'll win whatever we didn't win last year.
We're Everclear, just your average band of losers and one-hit wonders. You know, when I was a kid, it was always assumed that drugs were cool. I'd do any drug on the table. It didn't matter what it was. Man, I was wrong. Never talk about the damage it's going to do to you physically and mentally. It takes your life away from you. I threw away 14 years of my life. Sad. I used to be a stupid rock and roll cliche. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out for yourself. I don't know what else to say.
I think you have to realize who you are as a person, you know, who you are as a child of God, and that your potential is just so much greater than any chemical substance. You know, drugs, they destroy people, they destroy lives, they destroy families. You know, I'm soon to be a mother, you know, and these are things I think about. Please stay positive and stay away from the drugs because, you know, there's no place positive you can get with that route.
Next, we will take a look at the Wayne Hills girls softball team. This season is just beginning, and the girls are working hard to make this year better than ever. All the time and effort are sure to pay off in the end. Let's check them out.
Work your body, let me see you 1, 2, step. Rock it, don't stop it. Everybody get on the floor. Bring the party up, we about to get it on. Let me see you 1, 2, step. I love it when you 1, 2, step. Everybody 1, 2, step. This beat is outrageous.
My expectations for this year are really good. We had a lot of new players, including the freshmen, and they look really good. We made cuts, but it only shows that what good people are left, and it makes our team a lot stronger because people that did not get cut really show that they want to be here and actually play the game. Our coaches are Coach Venti, Coach Deep Benedictus, and Coach Dawson. Coach Dawson doesn't work at Wayne Hills, but she comes after school and helps us and pushes us. And they're really strict, but they want us to win, so they want to improve our skills and everything. I'm a pitcher, and I go with Coach Dawson, all the other pitchers to like pitching classes, and she helps us with our pitching, and like improves us so that we're good during the season. And we're on our way to a really good season this year.
The softball position consists of 9 players on the field. There are 3 infielders, first baseman, a second baseman, a third baseman. There's a pitcher, which pitches the ball to the batter, and there is a catcher that receives the ball from the pitcher. There are 3 outfielders, left, center, and right field.
Our practices are after school, and now that we made our cuts, they separate us into 2 groups, the infielders and the outfielders. And the outfielders go with one coach, and they practice on like fly balls and catching ground balls that go into the outfield and make sure they're catching them right. And then the infielders, they practice with another coach, mainly Coach Dawson, and she hits grounders to us in the gym, and we have to make sure we catch them right because there can be high hops and the balls can bounce in the field, and make sure that like we can get the ball out of our glove really fast and throw it to the base so the person can get out. And so we practice our hitting also because we have a pitching machine which pitches balls to us, and it practices our hitting while we can't go outside because there's still snow on the ground. But even though there is, we can still practice our hitting and make sure we're keeping up with everyone else during the season, so our hitting is up to schedule.
The boys volleyball team is off to a great start. With Mr. Eustace as their coach, they should be able to accomplish a great deal. Now let's take a look.
My name is Brian Lake. I play Wayne Hills varsity volleyball. I'm a strong side hitter.
Returning players this year is myself and Josh Weinberg, 2 captains. Mo Rustin is another senior. He's come a long way since he was a freshman. He's gotten much better. And Ryan Lake and Ryan McCafferty are 2 juniors who are going to be very strong this year.
Strategy has to be we need more team communication. The thing that's kept us from winning more than we should in the past has been everyone on our team likes to point fingers, and everyone likes to give a blame to someone else. So if we could communicate better and work together better as a team, it should help us be successful.
Jesus is a very different coach from your normal coach because he's very smart, he's very intelligent, and he takes the game, he looks at it like a technical view. He takes himself aside from the game, he takes himself out of the emotions, and he's very good at what he does, but he's very laid back.
Season, we should definitely win counties. Last season we lost to Clifton. We have the loss of Nick Worsley this season, he's not playing. But we have players that are going to step up and hopefully bring us far into the States. And with a lot of hard work, we'll make it far.
The only way we could go far in the States is if we play really good defense. And since we lost Nick, we're going to have to step up our blocking and pass extremely well. That's the only way we can win.
We're Everclear, just your average band of losers and one-hit wonders. You know, when I was a kid, it was always assumed that drugs were cool. I'd do any drug on the table. It didn't matter what it was. Man, I was wrong. Never talk about the damage it's going to do to you physically and mentally. It takes your life away from you. I threw away 14 years of my life. Sad. I used to be a stupid rock and roll cliche. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out for yourself. I don't know what else to say.
I think you have to realize who you are as a person, you know, who you are as a child of God, and that your potential is just so much greater than any chemical substance. You know, drugs, they destroy people, they destroy lives, they destroy families. You know, I'm soon to be a mother, you know, and these are things I think about. Please stay positive and stay away from the drugs because, you know, there's no place positive you can get with that route.
Thanks for joining us this month. Once again, I'm Alex.
And I'm Stephanie. See you next month.
Song for the broken hearted, a silent prayer for faith departed. I ain't gonna be just a face in the crowd. You're gonna hear my voice when I shout.
Hi, and welcome to the May edition of Patriot Pride. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Antonia. Today we go out of our way to bring you a special edition of Patriot Pride. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I think you have to realize who you are as a person, you know, who you are as a child of God, and that your potential is just so much greater than any chemical substance. You know, drugs, they destroy people, they destroy lives, they destroy families. You know, I'm soon to be a mother, you know, and these are things I think about. Please stay positive and stay away from the drugs because, you know, there's no place positive you can get with that route.
Our next segment is for all you nosy people who have ever wondered what's in some girls' purses or some guys' pockets. Well, your wishes come true. Let's take a look.
Tropical Radiance body spray.
A cell phone. Another cell phone.
A big calculator.
Oh yeah, that.
What do you have in your purse?
A lot of things. Let me show you. I have Orbit gum. Yeah, that's good. I have a watch. No. I have a calculator. I have a pencil. And I have money. Ooh, everyone likes money. And I have numbers. Numbers.
There you go.
That's about it. Calculator. A wallet. Gel. Cell phone. Gum. An iPod.
And a necklace.
We've reached the end.
pocket.
Let's see. Whoa! This must be from last year.
Whoa.
And I have this thing. Listen to it during class.
What's that?
It's an MP3 player. I have in my pocket, so I got my wallet.
We have your wallet.
My money. I got money and I think a school ID. Want to zoom in on that? Grade 11. That's me. And I've got I got a I got a Gatorade tap. And I got some raisins. Would you like one?
I got some of these old French fries. I got the bottle cap. I got a fork. I got some gum and some keys, and that's about it. Oh, wait, hold on. I got a fork in this pocket. And some chips. I got some potato chips. And I think that's it.
Have you ever wondered how the 30-minute drill is produced? Well, today we're going to introduce you to our staff, show you the equipment, and take you through the making of the 30-minute drill.
A-Rod starters finally wake up. Color.
That's all he needs. It's just a matter of time before Alex Rodriguez succeeds and becomes the MVP.
The Mets just can't pitch. That's what it comes down to.
They can. And Tim was talking to me earlier. I mean, we'll have to mention it on the show up there. They got to get some run support. I think we work together as a cohesive unit. I mean, you could ask any of these guys in the director's chair, as in Mr. Hookstraight, or any of these production crew guys. We work better than any other team that I've ever been associated with, and that's just good teamwork. You know, I got to give some credit to Mike and Tim. They're out there every day working their butts off, and that's what makes this whole thing run well.
Basically, me, Tim DeMuse, and Chad Collardes talk about what's happening recently in sports, and we discuss that on the drill for every week.
I think we feed off each other's energy pretty well. Me, Mike, and Chad get along well, so we can get ideas out into the stage.
We're talking baseball here on the drill. I'm Chad, Mike, and Tim. Guys, we got to start out with the team with the highest payroll in the league. That's the New York Yankees. This team is struggling. It's tough. You know, I'm not gonna stand here and tell you it's easy and it comes natural, because it doesn't. You know, we're out there a good half an hour before the show, writing things down, looking at the newspaper, calling up people. It's a rough thing, but you know what? We got a passion for it. We're gonna go out there every day like it's a game. We're gonna approach it with an attitude of we have to dominate. We have to know our stuff.
No, not at all. We're just having fun talking about sports, what we like to do.
I watch a lot of sports, that's where I get a lot of my lines from. That's what I want.
For Nick Lozada to get chemistry going so he can prove once again that he's a Cy Young candidate. I like hosting. You know, it's obviously I started the year in a different chair. You know, I was an analyst. Then Mike decided, you know what, it's time for me to step aside. I like to shed my information rather than ask the questions. I just embraced it. You know, I took it as a challenge. I'm like Kobe Bryant. If a challenge is offered, I'm to capitalize.
That's another showdown.
In our next segment, we bring you the fourth and final update of the robot competition. Along with Mr. Yost, Mr. Hopper has joined the crew, hoping to improve the robot and do better in the competition.
Recently we've been dealing with the mechanical arm, and that part of the robot serves two different events, one being the escape. And the idea is that the arm will be able to slip underneath the front of the box and basically lift the box off it, and we'll be able to go back and steer the box into a scoring area. The second event was the carnival hammer, and we got quite far on that. We're using the same arm, same idea of lifting and working on an end effector that's very similar to a human hand, whereas it picks up the can and the arm releases and extends the can up to probably 8 or 9 feet, and then we use a piston activity that actually will then drop the can to fall on target. Now on paper it looks good, and the manufacturing end of it is a slow process, just the way it is. So weekends tends to be a good time for these students to get a lot of work done, because the daily 42-minute period is just too short to get started, work, and accomplish anything. The last 2.5 weeks, well, believe it or not, as I said before, we get a tremendous amount of things done on a weekend, mainly because we have a block of time, whereas we don't have to move on to other classes. What we got accomplished is the robot is completely programmed. Software has been worked through on Saturday, and the student spent about 5 hours debugging the system. We had to swap out an axle that was causing some drag because we didn't have the right precision part, and we did get that from a manufacturer quite quickly, and the students turned it around really fast. We're working on right now on a transmission. Here in front of me is a mock-up of a way to increase the speed of a torque motor. The students have been actually in the last 2 weeks setting up what's called a test bed, where they were testing the output of a motor, and depending on which motor they're used, and we have several in the kit, we found different outcomes. And basically what happened is this motor here has a lot of really good torque to it, not a twisting force. However, it's slow. So ironically, we're building on our Lego ideas, and in Legos with robotics we were able to generate a gearing up process where we can take the torque and convert it to speed. So here's the basic idea, where we come out with a big gear attached to the output shaft of the motor, and you're basically spinning it to a small gear, increasing speed, and this shaft gives you a compound, so you can then repeat that same sequence. So here you got big to small, and then on the same shaft it's big to small again, and the student will be able to hook this up and test it at different intervals to see which speed ratio works best for us. And again, that takes a lot of time, and a lot of the problems we experience are with drilling holes in material, which you never really think about that part of a project. You think you got the parts, you put them together, boom, you're done. Well, there's a lot of steps in between that require a lot of attention, measuring, using tools, and again, 42 minutes is not a lot of time to set up a piece of material, drill the holes, measure them, make changes. But we're doing it. It's a slow process, but I think we're going to be really successful this year.
Day in the Life of Miss Amaral proves to be an exciting comedy. She's known for her dry humor and her fun methods of teaching. She also takes part in after-school activities such as class advisor of the class of 2007. She makes great contributions to not only the school but also the students. Now let's take a look.
For years, teachers have been looked upon as authority figures set to enforce the law in the classroom. However, here's a little known fact, they're human too. To prove that, let's take a look into the day of the teacher here at Wayne Hills. Meet Mrs. Amaral. She teaches Spanish at Wayne Hills High School. For her, teaching is all about getting to work with kids.
I don't like working with kids. No, just kidding. Why did I become a teacher? I like working with teenagers. Why? I don't know, it keeps me young.
Her teaching methods vary from the ordinary to the very creative. Some days consist of notes upon notes dealing with the various Spanish concepts. Other days consist of workbook activities, where Miss Amaral allows students to apply the skills they have learned to Spanish problems. Some days, Miss Amaral really thinks outside the box, and her kids get to play games in school. Yes, you heard right, games. Why?
We play games in class? We do? Games is a fun way to learn new stuff. That's why we do them.
However, while Ms. Amaral is all for games, she can also be quite the disciplinarian when kids get out of line. She teaches a serious class and makes it clear that not every day can be full of special activities.
No special activities. I drill you until you become really bored.
Mrs. Amaral also happens to be a very active teacher. She not only teaches Spanish, but she also heads the French club. One of her biggest jobs is as advisor to the school student council. That job is a big undertaking. It requires her to be present at the monthly student council meetings, to make sure that the agenda is being followed, and to offer her input when she has good advice. Still, Mrs. Amaral is modest about her position as advisor.
I don't really have a role. I just advise. Dave runs the student council meetings because he's the president.
To see how effective a teacher Miss Amaral is, let's see what her students have to say about her and her class.
Miss Amaral has been an inspiration in class this year. She's very tough on all of her students, especially me. I wish I could have her again. And she's just a really good teacher.
Miss Amaral is a hard-nosed teacher who gets her point across and doesn't take anything from any of her students. But she's a good teacher, and I'd be happy to have her again next year.
Miss Amaral, we love you, especially because you shop at the most amazing store ever, Zara's.
Senora, you're awesome. You're our favorite teacher. Our whole class is like BFF. We love you.
Well, it looks like everyone's giving Miss Amaral 2 thumbs up. And with her fun teaching methods and enthusiastic personality, it's easy to see why.
This past March, the Wayne Hills Theater program put on a spectacular show called Runaways. The cast and crew worked very hard to make the show a success. Now let's take a look.
Well, like every play, it's a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of hours, and a lot of commitment. There are people who are doing all kinds of other sports, especially track, and they had to miss track practices and make all kinds of sacrifices to be at the play. And it really is a big commitment, but it's also a lot of fun. And, I mean, we would have dance rehearsals, not so much, but choreography rehearsals, music rehearsals. There was a lot of music to learn. We had to learn all of our individual monologues, so definitely a lot of work went into it. And not only on the part of the actors, but also on all of the musicians who played in the band, and as well as Mr. Whitmore and all of the set construction people. They all put a lot of time and effort into the play, and it really paid off.
It's a collection of monologues and songs based on over 2,000 interviews with children between the ages of 6 to 20, the reasons why they left home. But I was very surprised, very pleased. It's something I've wanted to do maybe for the last 10, 15 years. I saw the play originally on Broadway, and the power just kind of struck me. And I've threatened to do it maybe for the last 3 or 4 years, just never seemed to have the right cast. And this year was the perfect time, and some of them really gave me incredible performances. I couldn't believe what I was seeing on stage.
Message that homelessness and child abuse and all of these things do exist, and they are real problems, and it just kind of brought to the audience's realization that these are real problems, and even a percentage of our profits were donated to an organization called Stand Up for Kids, which really puts money into the hands of those who need it living on the streets. So. Well, the interesting thing about Runaways is that it doesn't have a plot. It's just kind of a collage of different monologues and stories all having to do with children who ran away from home. And they all just kind of congregate on the stage, which is a sort of playground type place, and they just share their experiences. Worked really well together. Before the show began, Mr. Castagna held a series of workshops in which we would define our characters, and we would be given random monologues to read and to really understand our characters. And we all worked very well together, especially on the stage, because we all had to move into different places and positions and interact with each other on stage. And the way that we all worked together was just magnificent.
Our parking lot here at Wayne Hills is filled with a bunch of nice cars. From a Honda Accord to a Jeep Grand Cherokee, it's sure to be filled with fast excitement. Let's check it out.
H world, keep dreaming. Keep working, don't stop. Keep working, don't stop. I'm telling you, woman, why you calling me all day if you don't want nothing? If you keep calling me, girl, then tell me something.
This is the Wayne Hills parking lot. This is where the seniors and some juniors sometimes drive their cars. Where we come in the morning, get to go out to lunch here. 2004 Honda Accord Coupe EX model. The exterior, we have a multi-reflector headlamps. For the taillights, they're LEDs. We have standard 17-inch alloy wheels. The engine compartment has a 2.4 liter engine. Has 160 horsepower. It's inline 4. It's a 5-speed automatic. Interior, we have standard 6 CD changer. Also has 6 speakers.
Come on. Why you calling me all day if you don't want nothing? If you keep calling me, girl, then tell me something. Tell me something. I'm telling you now, girl, to be with me, mine's all or nothing. All or nothing. Doing all that frontin', you're wasting you know time. Everybody.
Scatman's World. Life's about living, laughing, loving. Drugs, baby, they ain't about nothing. It's not hip to die. Drugs, they ain't about nothing.
We're Everclear, just your average band of losers and one-hit wonders. You know, when I was a kid, it was always assumed that drugs were cool. I'd do any drug on the table. It didn't matter what it was. Man, I was wrong. Never talk about the damage it's going to do to you physically and mentally. It takes your life away from you. I threw away 14 years of my life. Sad. I used to be a stupid rock and roll cliche. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Figure it out for yourself. I don't know what else to say.
Thanks for watching this month's edition of Patriot Pride. Stay tuned for our final edition in June.
You can look forward to a tribute to Mr. Raffini along with a bunch of other great projects. Once again, I'm Antonia DeFeo.
And I'm Kristen Schweihart. See you next time.